Now, whether you go to Ashoka or go to Flame or go to UBC in Vancouver or some college in London or some University of Sydney or whatever, um, the reality is the level of independence will remain same.
Yeah.
The expense will vary significantly, right? So if you're going to Ashoka, you'll be paying 10, 12 lakhs a year. If you go to UBC in Canada, you'll be paying 55,000 Canadian dollars a year. And I'm just talking tuition fee. If you are going to US, you will be again paying 55-ish thousand American dollars a year. If you're going to, so so naturally, 55,000 American dollars is what, about 40 some lakhs versus 10 lakhs, 12 lakhs, right? So the other thing that happens, and I'm just sharing, insights. I'm not trying to make a decision and not trying to say you should go or should not go. What happens is when the parent is paying 10 lakhs, and mind you, Ashoka is the most expensive college in India.
Yeah.
Right? It's not a cheap college. I mean, when we went to college, it was a very different game. Though that's a bad thing to say. As parents, we keep saying, our times, we used to go on a cycle. In our times, we almost want to say I used to study under the street lamp, and which we didn't, but that's the sort of positioning we want to do sometimes. Just because we want to make you humble and we want to control you, and I do it too, but the reality is that when you're paying, if you were to go to a government college, let's say Delhi University, and pay 40,000 a year, imagine 40,000 a year versus 40 lakhs a year, right? The pressure it builds on the parent, not just your mom. I've seen thousands and thousands. But the pressure it builds on the parent is very different. That pressure brings control, right? When you're spending 40,000 versus 10 lakhs versus 50 lakhs, the pressure is different. The desire to control is different, right? So purely from a control and independence perspective, you will have more independence if you are in India, not living at home. If you're living at home, and where do you live in Delhi?
East Patel Nagar.
So not too far from Delhi University, actually, right? North Campus is not too far from you. So if you were to get into a St. Stephen's, Hindu, Hansraj, Karodimal, those kind of colleges, it's a half an hour ride. Whether you go in a car or auto or use special or whatever. I don't know if use special still run. They're great fun, the DTC buses, and it's absolutely a lot of fun. But anyway, so if you're in Delhi University living at home, it's still fun, but yeah, there'll be a lot more control and less freedom, because every time you go out and party, parents will know and they say, oh my God, it's 10 o'clock, you're not back. But if you're in Ashoka, you'll most probably be in the on campus. Your brother lives on campus, I'm assuming.
Yeah.
Right? Or if you're in Flame, then you're in Pune. If you're in Kriya, you are in South India. And, so then it's like being anywhere in the world. And I'm telling you from experience of thousands of students who have done it. The cost is lower for parents, so parents are a little more chill. If you say, if your brother is saying, I went in for psychology, but I want to move into branding and so on and so forth. But if you go to an NYU and you're spending, or California, and spending $65,000 or 50 lakhs plus a year on your undergrad, and then after 2 years, you say, you know what, I don't like this. Your parents are like, dude, you've spent 1.5 crore, and now you're telling me you don't like it? Like, which is the money plant this money is coming from, right? So naturally the pressure goes up, the conflict goes up, and it's different for different families. Every family is different, right? So I know people for whom, when we asked how much is the budget for your undergrad, they say $1 million, right? And you say, wow, that's, why don't you fund a few more kids? But you can't choose your parents and you can't choose your bosses. Those are two sets of people you inherit. And The reality is you seem to have, you're lucky. You are in the top 5% of the country, right? Hopefully, you know that. We are a country where very few people have the privilege to even imagine they will go to a college like Ashoka and pay 10 lakhs a year, 12 lakhs a year. You're a part of 0.001% if you're thinking of going abroad. But even Ashoka brings you in the top 1%, top 2%. So you're fortunate enough. Now, that fortune brings opportunity, that fortune brings a platform that you can use. That fortune sometimes also brings confusion, right? Because it also makes us believe that we can do a lot more, right? Um, so, there is no perfect answer to the situation, right?
Yeah.
As I've understood, the questions in front of us are: what will you study?
Yes.
Where will you study? And what will you do after that? And how will you get into that college, right? Um, so, and we've not even reached to what will you study. We are still at where will you study, because I can see that becoming a bigger sore topic than what will you study. Now let's come to what will you study,
Yeah.
right? Um, so if I wasn't having this conversation with you and you had to make a decision and nobody else was participating in that decision, what decision will you make? What will you study?
I would come up with entrepreneurship and digital marketing.
Entrepreneurship and digital marketing. And where would you study this?
Australia.
Okay, but if it was not Australia, if it was India.
In India, but like I was going through it, like universities like Ashoka, they don't offer digital marketing, they offer entrepreneurship. But with yeah, but like in India, I don't see a good university which offers the combination of both these subjects together. A good university.
Yeah.
So when I did my research, that's how I came up with Australia as an option. Because when I actually saw, that how the courses that they have over there, because they have like 20 subjects for every alphabet.
Yeah.
So I was really amazed by that, and that's how I came up with these two options. As an option, not committing to anything, but like I came up with these two options.
Okay, and why these two options?
I think digital marketing has a lot of scope. Plus, I think I'm interested in this field as well. Studying marketing as a subject. I mean, as a chapter as well in our class. So like I scored pretty good in that, and plus, my interest kept on building on that particular part, and having my aunt as well as a marketing head. So like after talking to her as well, I get to know that marketing is actually an interesting field to work at. And in case, so like at least it'll be a good degree to pass out for, because many firms these days look out for marketing experts, they look out for people excelling in. And plus now that it's all digital, so they look out for digital marketing. So in case the business doesn't work or something, which entrepreneur is going to help me. In case entrepreneurship fails, then I always have a backup degree of digital marketing which can help me pass and get into a good firm.
Okay. So for most things there are some thumb rules or there are some principles. The principle or thumb rule for undergrad is take a bigger umbrella. Okay, so whatever you study is an umbrella and it covers certain things. Okay, so digital marketing, entrepreneurship, HR, finance, strategy, operations, they're all in the umbrella of the business world. And they're all small umbrellas under the big umbrella. So at undergrad, take a bigger umbrella. At masters, take a narrower umbrella. Okay, at undergrad, take a bigger umbrella for multiple reasons. One, today, digital marketing is a very popular and in demand smaller umbrella. 5 to 7 years from now, we have no idea. Okay, we have no idea because 5 to 7 years ago, this was not the bigger umbrella. But if you take a bigger umbrella, 5 to 7 years from now, you could be in digital marketing, but you could also be in mergers and acquisitions. You could also be in human resources. You could also be in something completely new that we've not even heard of today, right? Um, so that's one reason it's better to take a bigger umbrella, right? So when people are choosing subjects in 11th and 12th, We say the biggest umbrella is science, because you do science, you can follow anything. You can do economics, you can do history, you can do psychology, you can do BCom, you can do BBA, you can do anything after science. Okay, a smaller umbrella is commerce, because then you can pursue commerce or humanities. The smallest umbrella is humanities. No umbrella is right or wrong, but there is a smaller umbrella, a bigger umbrella, a bigger umbrella. Okay. Now in undergrad, similarly, try and take a bigger umbrella, but in the space that you wanted to go. So don't go and do something with science. Don't do something with accountancy if that's not what you want to do. But take a bigger umbrella. Now, digital marketing is a smaller umbrella. That's one. The second is entrepreneurship. I don't know that successful entrepreneur who went to college and studied entrepreneurship, right? And that's no reason not to study entrepreneurship. A bigger reason is that all of us who have been entrepreneurs can tell you that you can't teach this in college. I have no idea what they're teaching in college, right? Entrepreneurship in colleges, like many of these courses which have come up because the colleges want more students, and they want to, colleges are also business houses, and they come up with more courses because people are excited about those courses and they can start new classes, and they get more students. It is not bad to be an entrepreneur. I think everybody should become an entrepreneur. I think there's nothing as exciting as an entrepreneur, but there's nothing as frustrating also as an entrepreneur. So if you want to be an entrepreneur, I would say join a college and alongside become an entrepreneur. Start a venture, right? I'm happy to talk to you one on one and come up with a business idea, help you raise funding, help you start it, right? I have no problem at all. Um, but you want to go and study entrepreneurship, I would love to know what they will teach to make you an entrepreneur, right? So I will say go study business, go study something else which is a bigger umbrella. The other thing that you must remember is that people who are doing really well in digital marketing in the world did not study digital marketing in college, right? If you see the biggest digital companies in India today, the companies which are media companies, right, which are producing content, making content, supporting digital marketing of companies, they are not being run. The senior guys are not. They've not gone and studied these courses in college. So both these things you can do on the side. There are several courses available. Again, I'm happy to sit with you one on one and help you find those courses. But I would be worried if you go and study this in college. Again, unless there is a medical issue and you can't study anything else. You know, if you say, look, I've got a medical issue, I can't. You want me to do a normal course? It's not my cup of tea, right? So one of the questions I ask people sometimes is it necessary to go to college? My answer is no, it is not, right? You can be successful anyways. If you're super driven, crazy, you don't sleep, I mean, I know a student of ours who is now 27 and worth 100 crores, who dropped out of school when he was in high school in ninth grade, right? But the guy doesn't sleep, right? The guy is insane. He's super driven, right? So today he works with the government, he works with like all big business houses, runs a company of his own. But that's a different level of drive, right? And if you want to be an entrepreneur, that's the kind of drive that you require. Yeah. And then very soon people want work-life balance, and success is very simple. We complicate it, and then we wonder why we did not become successful. So while there are new careers, new opportunities, and the world has changed, the basic fundamentals of success have not changed. You need to work insanely hard. You need to understand the fundamentals. You need to have good interpersonal skills. You need to be able to connect with people. You need to be able to sell. There are several things that you require which haven't changed. Yeah, there are a lot of new careers. How long will they last? We don't know. How long will the old careers last? Also, we will not know. So the only way to build a recession-proof career is hang on to the bigger umbrella. There's a better chance you'll be saved from a rainy day. Develop great work ethics, read a lot, develop knowledge, develop interpersonal skills, develop public speaking, be confident but be humble, be frugal. I mean, I can go on and on. But it's very simple to be successful. Very, very simple to be successful. The problem is that we get complicated. We don't really want to be successful really bad, right? We want a lot of things. We want friends, we want partying, we want socialization, we want Netflix, and we want to be successful. Success is not the only thing that we go after. If it is the only thing you go after, nothing can stop it. But that's not the case for most people. I mean, maybe that's who you are. But for most people that I have come across, that's not the only thing they're going after. When I see somebody for whom that's the only thing he wants to go after, I want to adopt them, right? Because it's exciting to be with them, right? Because their energy is infectious. They are at the razor's edge, which is the difference between being crazy and being intelligent and super driven, right? So it's great to be that person, but that profile comes with its own challenges, right? That profile can be a loner. That profile sometimes doesn't need socialization, right? They wake up and they have one single goal. They sleep less. They anyway. So the point is that take a broader major. Um, I would say look at Ashoka, Kriya, Flame. Uh, there are many other colleges, but do something which gives you a broader perspective. These colleges allow you a semester abroad. They've got profs coming from outside. You can change your major in between. You can add a second major. You can add a minor. I know Flame does have things like digital marketing and entrepreneurship. Uh, but these colleges have become competitive. They're not easy to get in anymore, right? So, and then you have other private colleges, the Shiv Nadar, Bennett, Manipal. These are other colleges. Fortunately for you, none of them are next to your house, right? You won't find them in a 15-kilometer radius of Patel Nagar. So you will need to go to either Sonipat or Pune or South India or wherever, which is a good thing. I can see the smile on your face. That will bring the independence and freedom. But I mean, again, if you want to go to Australia, so the challenge for Australia, in my mind, I mean, if you have to go, I would say, are you an Indian citizen?
Yeah.
Yeah, so I would say be careful about which country you're picking if you decide to go abroad. It's between you and your parents. If you do decide to go abroad, look at the probability of you getting work permits and citizenship. Okay, so I see a lot of people come back from Australia right now because they're not getting PR because they get the work permit immediately after their undergrad because they give it to you. But in that, you need to collect the points to get your PR, and sometimes you don't get it. So be careful about spending 2.5 crores and then coming back and joining HCL in Noida and getting 30,000 and going in the metro. That's not exciting. Um, So I would say go do your undergrad in India, save your money, be confident about going abroad, and go to a country where you will get work permit and citizenship. They're all good countries, I'll be honest with you, whether it's Australia or Canada or US or UK. The developed countries are developed countries for a reason. There is no doubt about it. So I'm all for going at your age. Um,
Neeraj, I just want to just intercept here. See, whenever I speak to Ayush, he was here in Bangalore with us for some time. See, I think India abroad is one tussle, which I think, like you rightly said, lots of these kids have all the time. You've seen Samaira go through this. I mean, this is like an ongoing thing in their mind, which is good to also address and understand. I love the way you explained it very practically. And Ayush, that way, is more practical than the other kids in our family. So he, assimilates this a little better. So that's, I think, a good thing. See, what I see a lot that needs to get into, helping him is a direction of subjects and careers that may be more suitable for him to think through, because I think he's probably still in that search in his mind. So even when I was sitting and talking to him, when he was here, my sister's talking to him, he's talking to people. I think getting that sort of a framework that, maybe these are seeming to be the ones that might be a little more in your scheme of things, maybe, might just help him narrow that down a little, because that's where I see him being a little unclear or wanting sort of getting that direction. And once he gets it, I have a feeling he will work well towards it, but that perhaps is still kind of taking a while for him to assimilate.
Ayush, do you want to react to that?
I mean, I would react to that in terms of this, that there's always certain confusion in the student's mind about subjects. And yeah, I mean, she's right. Once I finalize it, I'll do whatever to excel in it. But like the one stage of finalizing subjects is really important, because for me, whatever like I've chosen in life, I'm going to put my 100% in that. And it has happened in the past, and it will happen. If I've decided something, I'll put whatever to get that.
Okay. All right. So why don't we do this? Why don't you put together a spreadsheet, put down colleges and courses you want to apply to based on what we've discussed, or otherwise also, and then let's have another call and go through it. Okay. Second action, have a conversation with your mom and aunt about the practicality of you going abroad based on those two criteria. Are you mature enough? And how much is the money going to pitch? And come up with a decision on where are you applying.
Here, when we're looking at universities like Flame, Priya, Ashoka, etc. So, Ayush, I mean, I wanted to understand what is it other than your academics, because I've realized that academics really don't work with these universities as much. So, I have a person who's 97% and has done nothing else. So she was not even into, she didn't even clear the first round, and that's happened with many kids that I know of, with my son's same age. I wanted to understand, now we have these 3 4 months. What is it that he needs to have as a benchmark to at least clear those rounds, because academics will happen maybe. And now I have another person who's just 82%, but he's got through Ashoka, and he's been good in ABC things. So now with Ayush, unfortunately, we had a shift of college, schools, etc. So certification, I don't have. We don't possess any certification, though he is doing few courses side by side nowadays. Anything else that you think he should excel on, so that when we go there, and at least we are called in for the rounds?
Let me spend some time with him and I'll come up with those ideas. Basically, they want academics is their first priority. Okay, so it's not like that 97 doesn't matter, it matters, but they want to look at more things. They also want to look at your extracurriculars, they also want to look at your standardized testing. In Ashoka's case, they have the Ashoka aptitude test, they all have their aptitude tests, and they want to look at your writing ability, and they have interviews to take care of. So there are a few things which you need to prepare for. But great colleges, again, one of my favorite lines, great colleges look for students who don't need great colleges. Okay, so when you look like somebody who's going to be successful irrespective of where you go, that's when they want you. So academics is like an eligibility. It's the first thing that they will look at. But then they want to see, do you have the drive? What else have you done in your life? So let me spend some time with Ayush. I'll speak to him again. You can share my number with him and he can message me and I'll set up a call and we'll go over the college list, and then accordingly we'll go over the other things he should also do.
Yeah,
Okay?
I think
That should be as soon as when? How much gap do you want him to have with this conversation going forward?
4 hours? I'm just kidding. Whenever you want. Doesn't matter. When you are in Goa, so I can understand. Maybe you need your time for your work and all. So whenever you guys can speak, after that he can message me. I just want him to have clarity of where is he going.
That's
Right?
true.
Because that's the direction he will go into. The sooner you give that clarity to him, the more fair we are to him. Right?
Yeah.
Whether it's a difficult conversation, so we try and defer it. But the sooner we bring that clarity, the sooner he will get over
Yeah.
the frustration or the disappointment or whatever, or not. I mean, if you say, okay, go abroad or not go abroad, whatever you want to decide, that I would say make that decision Don't leave it hanging, because it will only build expectation in his mind, which if it is not going to get fulfilled, then we should just call it out.